Hi, this is Professor Mike Strahan from Northern Michigan University Olson Library. Today we're going to talk about searching for ebooks and also how to reference them using APA Style 7th edition. We're going to start with the Nursing Undergraduate Guide, but you could also follow a similar procedure using other guides such as the Education Undergraduate Guide or the Speech Pathology Guide we provide here at Northern's Library. So we're going to start off with the Nursing Guide. We're going to click on the link to the catalog and then click on Advanced Search. We are looking for ebooks that deal with swallowing disorders. So we're going to type in swallowing disorders. Leave everything else the way it is. We're going to leave the location for NMU Olson Library. For the types, we're going to change it to book because we're only looking for books. We're not interested in journals. Click on Search. We've got 76 results. They're arranged alphabetical by title. We want to look at the latest books that we have on this topic. So we're going to go over to Sort By, change it to Publication Date Descending. The first one, Clinical Management of Swallowing Disorders, great for speech path, possibly for education, not so much for nursing. The second one looks a little bit more related. It's Management of Swallowing and Feeding Disorders in Schools. This can go across all three primary disciplines, but that's available in print. We're looking for things that are available online. So we're going to scroll on down. Pediatric rehab, not really. Facial paralysis. So now I've got something called Management of Swallowing and Feeding Disorders in Schools, published in 2014. So we're going to click on that because we want the ebook. We have quite a bit of information here. Note that it says it's a computer file, and as we look further on down, it tells us that it's coming from ProQuest eBook Central and that it's an ebook. This is what we want. So the first thing we're going to do is to go back and look at the APA format for ebooks. And so let's go back to the Nursing Guide. We are going to click on the tab that's labeled APA Style New 7th Edition. And we're going to scroll on down. We want the accordion for books. So we're going to click on the books label. It tells us that what's new for the 7th edition is that you include the publisher, but you no longer include the place of publication. So remember that. Most books are not assigned a DOI, so you don't have to worry about that. First example is an author book without a DOI, subsequent edition. It's a drug handbook. We're not going to be talking about that in this video. We're going to go on to the next. Authored book without a DOI from academic research database or print version. This is a major change with APA Style 7. We no longer need to worry so much about some of the electronic information in APA Style 7. They're saying that if we retrieve this ebook directly from a research database, that ProQuest eBook Central is considered a research database, or if this was a print version, meaning a book we pulled off the shelf, we use the same format. So here is the standard that we're going to follow. We have the author's last name, comma, followed by the first initial, middle initial if it's provided. If we have more than that, we include both. The year of publication goes in parentheses, followed by a period. Next comes the title of the book. AP has capitalization rules. One of them is that because this is a sentence, you capitalize the first word of the title. You also capitalize the first word following a colon. Also, same as with any style, You capitalize proper names, people's, places, things, acronyms, and abbreviations. For this title, we have Native American. That's a proper name, so both words are capitalized. Also note that the title of the book is italicized, followed by a period. After that is the publisher. We provide that publisher name. Ends at a period. That is the entire reference for this ebook that we're going to be referencing. Like I said, it doesn't matter whether it came from a database or we pulled it off the shelf as a print version. How to cite this work in text is a new feature I have on my APA guides for 7th edition. The parenthetical in-text citation, meaning within parentheses, is you have the author's last name, followed by a comma, followed by the publication year. If it's 2 authors, you list both of them. 3 or more, I have further examples. The narrative, meaning that you have the in-text citation as part of your sentence, as opposed to parenthetically, usually at the end. You have the author's last name, no comma, the year in parentheses, immediately following it, not at the end of the sentence. If you're doing a direct quote, I recommend you put this at the end of the sentence parenthetically. It's the author's last name, comma, followed by the year, comma, followed by P period, space, and the page number where you got that direct quote. So now we have our format. Let's go back to our library catalog entry, and we're going to look for this information. We're going to copy and paste it inside of a Word document. First is the author. Highlight the author, copy it, go back to our Word document, paste it. If you remember, APA doesn't use people's first names, they just use their first initial, middle initial. Next is parentheses and the year. The year, according to this record, is 2014. Parentheses, period. Next comes the title. Highlight the title. After we highlight it, if the title ends in a colon but there's no words after it, ignore the colon as part of your reference. Copy it, come back to Word, paste it in, put a period at the end. Now we need to change the capitalization. In this title, the word management is the only one that gets capitalized. So highlight it, go up to big A, little a, to change the case, change it to lowercase. Easier than changing the words individually. Finally, we provide the publisher name. Go back to the catalog. It is plural publishing Inc. APA rules says we don't need to include Inc. Other rules depends upon what it says in the manual, but we don't have to include Inc. So we're going to highlight plural publishing, copy that, come back to our reference list. So we're ready to paste in our publisher name and then change the formatting. So we paste it, put a period at the end, don't forget that period. APA style uses hanging indent double spacing. Highlight, right click, tell it to paragraph. Under indentation special, change it to hanging. Under line spacing, change it to double. Click on OK. Automatically makes those adjustments. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. Again, my name is Professor Michael Strahan. Thank you.